guys need any grinding done, such as the draft reward MosBallin, unlimited Michael Finley, the GOAT Fernando at a clutch time, or even the level 40 Ant-Man, look no further than hitting up my guy Cliff2_3 on Twitter. What is good, yo? It's your boy Ty back here with another video, and in this video today, guys, we're going to be ranking the top power forwards in NBA 2K22 MyTEAM on a tier list. So from S through F, how good is each and every one of these power forwards? Now, we've got just a lot of invincible power forwards in general. So like KG, Kareem, Embiid, Hakeem, AD, D-Rob, the list goes on and on, even Pau Gasol, Tim Duncan. Where do all those invincible cards rank, right? How good are they for their respective tier? We also have just a lot of really good and solid budget power forwards in here as well. So, I mean, look, guys, whether you are just trying to look for the overall best power forward in the game, whether you're trying to, get a budget power forward, this list should be able to help you guys out. And if you are new to the channel and have not yet, man, make sure you do smash that subscribe button as we're on the road towards 100,000 subscribers. We're going to start it off here with the Dark Matter Al Horford card. And I'm sorry, man. If you guys are a big Al Horford fan, I'm sorry. I don't see it with this card. I just don't see it. Now, defensively, your first question should be, okay, Ty, can he at least hold it down? And the answer to that is yes, okay? Al Horford can hold it down at the power forward position. Now, does that mean Al Horford is great? No. Does that even mean Al Horford is good? No. If you do need a power forward and he's who you got, sure, he can play fine enough defense at the power forward position, but who can't, guys? We're at the end of June. Al Horford's D tier. Poku at the power forward position, we're heading into B tier. And again, guys, B tier is not bad. B tier is pretty good. And so is Pokachevsky, man, especially at power forward. You're not going to need him to handle the ball too much. He's going to knock down shots, going to play solid defense. So you might be wondering, guys, what's the difference between Poku and a guy like Horford? Well, Poku is way taller. Poku can do a lot more, and he has a better release. So, I mean, it's really a night and day difference when you do compare Pokachevsky to a guy like Dark Matter Al Horford. Next up, guys, you do got Alonzo Mourning, who is also going into D tier. I mean, it's nice that we're starting with Mourning and Horford pretty early on because these cards are very similar. Now, who do I think is better? I think I would give this slight edge to Alonzo Mourning, but I gotta say, guys, both releases of Horford and of Mourning are not good in my team. That's simply what you gotta say. I mean, you can look at some of these comments. I don't know. He's going to be severely underrated. He's not. He's my power forward, guys. Baited release. Yeah, it is a baited release. At least somebody understood at the time. Mourning's not horrible, but just not my favorite power forward for today's game. Amare Stoudemire up next, and we're headed right into the C tier for Mr. Amare Stoudemire. Why is he C tier? You guys might be like, why is he not better than C tier? I just don't love the Amare base. Now, it's not bad. The release is fine. Quick dribble style, Scotty move behind the back. He is fine in my team, right? He is fine. Is he as good as Pokachevsky in my opinion? No. I still think Poku is, because he's 7 feet tall, just gives you that little bit more in my opinion. But I do still think Amare is better than Al Horford, Alonzo Mourning. And if you guys did lock in for Amare and are using him, and you guys might be upset at where I'm putting him, but from my perspective, from my point of view, just don't quite see it with Mr. Amare Stoudemire. Andrew Bogut up next. And he's one of the newer power forwards on this list, but he also is a pink diamond, so you got to kind of keep that in perspective. Is Bogut better than a guy like Al Horford? That's the question we got to ask, and I'm thinking so. I just based off his release, but I think he might be in that same tier. And I think he is. He's right in this tier. Is he better than Al Horford or Alonzo Mourning? I can't sit here and say I know for sure the answer to that question, but what I will say is they are for sure the same tier. Anthony Davis, invincible card up next. I've got to decide what I want to do here. I'm going to put Anthony Davis, invincible card, right now at the current time in A tier. I'm going to put him in A tier. I got to. Now, that's not me saying Anthony Davis is bad. I love Anthony Davis. He's just a little undersized for the power forward position as an invincible card, 6'10", and if his height doesn't bother you, yes, his release is incredible, movement-wise is very solid, and he is a top 10 power forward in the game. The only reason he's not higher is just because the power forward position is so stacked. Hero Anthony Davis might be closer to A tier than to B tier, but my whole thing is badge-wise, there's a big difference between the invincible Anthony Davis and the hero. You might not think there's that much of a difference, but again, I'm telling you guys, when it comes down to a badge-wise, there is a little bit of a difference, and enough, I think, to separate their tiers. And again, B tier is really good, guys. I want to make that known. A B tier power forward on this list is really good, because that's exactly where I'm putting Arvydas Sabonis. Now, Sabonis is a player, guys, that he's an what do you call it, a niche player or whatever. That's what he is, man. You have to have a certain niche to play this game if you want to run Sabonis at that power forward position. Again, not the fastest defensively, not the greatest, but he is 7'3". So look, guys, if you did get him out of triple threat offline, you got a really solid power forward in my team. It's just he's not very fast with the ball defensively. He's good just because he's so tall, but he's got to fit what you want him to do on the court. He still might move up to A tier. Bam Adebayo up next. I think he's in between B and C. I really do. I think probably closer to C. A lot of people do like this Bam card, though, and if you grind it for Bam, my question is, how much worse is he than this Anthony Davis? I mean, that's the question we've got to ask. And I do think A Disney is just that little bit better than Bam, and same thing with the animations. Again, Bam is not bad. I'm not sitting here up here in front of you guys saying he's bad. Just think there's other options that are a little bit better. Bill Russell is not good, and I know he's an invincible card. But if you're asking me right now who I'd rather have on the court, this Bill Russell or Bam, I'm probably leaning Bam. And it's not me saying that Bill Russell is horrible. I'm just here saying release-wise means so much for today's game, and set shot 17 just is not it. I get the dribble sigs are good, all that stuff. But unless somebody shows me what Bill Russell gets into, he's at C tier. Until that happens, sorry, he's at C tier in my opinion, guys. Blake Griffin's going right into B tier. We're due for an invincible Blake at some point, right? We're due for a new Blake Griffin in my team. This Blake Griffin, though, for today's game, guys, is still solid enough. It all starts and ends with Blake Griffin with that release. Blake's release on very quick is a solid release, easy to time. That's why Blake is up here at B tier. You're gonna see a lot of B tier players, and Bob McAdoo's right in that tier. Again, I can't, if I put all these cards in A tier, we'd have just an overwhelming amount, and so we gotta kind of pick and choose A tier and S tier. And for me, Bob McAdoo, he's on my no money spent. I absolutely love this card. Is he perfect? No. Is he really good? Yes. In my opinion, just a better version of like a Bill Russell, or a Bill Russell with a better release. Bob McAdoo can do it all on the court, and he's got jump shot 5. Bob Nedelecki, A tier. And again, you guys might want to argue that Bob Nedelecki is S tier, and if that's you, I'm not going to argue against you. The only thing I will say is we've got a Dirk now with the set shot 25, so it just kind of ruins what Bob Nedelecki did for you on the court. Still going to be in the power forward of my future on the no money spent account. I'm super glad I got it for Bob, got him, because he is absolutely elite at that power forward position, and so is Bull. You guys might be like, Ty, why are all these cards A tier and not S tier? Well, here's what I'm going to say about Bull. If you've got a Bull with the likes of Interceptor, with the likes of Box, with the likes of Worm, you know, got him with Hot Zone Hunter, those types of badges, sure, then Bull might be in the S tier. But he's not an invincible card, right, guys? He's only got 36 Hall of Fame badges. His player model is still absolutely ridiculous. I still love his movement, all those stuff for his 7'2" card. My whole debate, though, is I just don't think he's a top 5 power forward right now in my team. Now, again, we'll get to, he's close, so we'll get to why I don't believe that. But we've got a lot of talent here at this power forward position, so let's get to it. Chris Bosh is fine in my team. You're not going to hear me slander Chris Bosh at all. If you run Chris Bosh and you're good with jump shot 70, there's no reason to change him out. Now, defensively, he's no longer great. He is okay in my team. But look, guys, the reason I'm higher on Blake Griffin and Chris Bosh is a couple of reasons. I like the wide player model. And guys, he's got a way better release in my opinion. That's why I'm higher on Blake Griffin. But if you guys want Chris Bosh higher on this list, I can't sit here and say you're wrong. Chris Boucher is another really solid option in my team. Now, is he as good as some of these Dark Matters? Objectively speaking, probably not. Okay, and so Boucher's probably going to have to get moved down. But that's not me saying I hate Chris Boucher, because I don't think he is bad at all. And it's kind of the same thing with Christian Wood. I mean, Christian Wood in my team defensively normally is not very good. Now, this card for Christian Wood, badge-wise, is okay. His stats still just leave that little bit to be desired. He does have Ray Base on very quick with quick dribble style. Still think I'm going to put him in D tier, and maybe he belongs in C tier. So if you guys think it belongs in C tier, let me know. I just haven't really used the card or heard too much about him. So for now, guys, I am putting him in D tier. Danny Ferry up next. We're going B tier for Danny Ferry. Yes, I like Danny Ferry at the power forward position over Bill Russell. You guys might be like, Ty, you are crazy. And I'm okay with that. My question, you guys, is there that much of a difference between Golden Hall of Fame badges compared to Jump Shot 98 on Very Quick and Set Shot 17 on Very Quick? That's why a guy like Danny Ferry, to me, is over Invincible Bill Russell. Again, debate a wall if you want to. Give me Danny Ferry. David Robinson Invincible card is our first card here heading into that S tier. I like David Robinson more than Bobo's base cards. Again, base cards. Now, if you got a Bobo that's souped, change things a little bit more. But I love D-Rob's release. He now has quick dribble style, can give you a little bit more. I love his player build. He's still going to shoot a lot of full bars. So it's the one thing about David Robinson, if you do run the card that you've got to know is, yes, you're going to get some fulls with the card. Boogie Cousins up next. Is Boogie Cousins B tier or is he not? I don't really know for sure. I actually haven't used DeMarcus Cousins. For now, I'm going to put him in B tier just because I think that is where he belongs. Set shot 8 on Very Quick, quick dribble style, Kobe size of escape. Again, I normally don't like Boogie cards in my team, and I can't say I've ran this Boogie Cousins. But from what I think he can do on the court, I think it belongs in B tier. Dino up next, and we're going C tier for Mr. Dino Raja. There's just cards I like more than Dino. It's that simple. Now, that's not me saying Dino is bad. That's not me saying, if you're running Dino that you absolutely have to replace him for a card that is in a higher tier. I'm just saying, at this point, he's not as good as a Danny Ferry. It's that simple. Invincible Dirk is not great. I mean, he's just not. I still think Invincible Dirk, look, I'm not even talking about the better Dirk. Now, if you have this Dirk, you might as well get the Hero Dirk. This Dirk was not great, though. I mean, objectively, he was not great. I mean, maybe even C tier. I'm going to put him B tier. He was not great. This Dirk is the best power forward in the game and maybe the best card in the game. This Dirk can do no wrong in my team. Set shot 25, quick dribble style, great dribble 6, every Hall of Fame badge in the game, every stat on 99 with the best release. The single best card in the game right now, in my opinion, is Dirk. I absolutely am in love with endgame Dirk. Invincible Giannis, if you do play him at that power forward position, is S tier again. And this is one that a lot of people don't agree with. And I'm going to get to why I like Giannis so much. But hear me out, okay? And I want you guys to go in this with an open mindset. I like Giannis more at small forward than power forward. I want you guys to recognize that. But if you guys do want to run Giannis at power forward and are comparing him to a guy like Bobo, Giannis based on Very Quick. This is the most underrated thing about this Giannis card. This release is so elite in my team. It's that release that takes him places. Obviously, Giannis's player model is ridiculous as well. I just think Giannis does everything good and well for you. He belongs in that S tier, even at the power forward position. Hero Giannis still belongs in A tier. That goes to show you how high I am on Giannis. That even a non-invincible Giannis, right? This Giannis still goes into A tier. So maybe it's just me being that high on Giannis, but I really do love the card. Invincible Hakeem is another S tier card. And this is why we're talking about Bol not being in S tier. Because we got Hakeem with the Gallinari base on Very Quick dribble style, can do it all, wide player model. I mean, we've got perfect power forwards in my team. And we've honestly, at this point in my team, nearly got too many perfect power forwards in the game. And take that for how you want it. But we've just got so many elite power forwards right now in my team for me to say really to say anything else. Hakeem, literally perfect right now in my team. The Hero Hakeem, I'm still throwing at A tier. I mean, this card, this Hero Hakeem, I still think gives you something more than like a Hero Anthony Davis. Why? He's still got Gallo base on Very Quick, and he's still 7 feet tall at the power forward position. Is the card perfect? No. But man, I'm in love with a lot of these newer power forwards. Jack Sigma, I'm gonna put him at C tier. But if you are on current gen, this card is one of the most underrated cards in the entire game on current gen, man. The release on current gen is so smooth, it is absolutely ridiculous. If you do want a budget power forward, man, I'm telling you guys right now, Jack Sigma is still the man with the plan. Jermaine O'Neal, I'm throwing him in C tier right with Dino and Jack Sigma. Jermaine's gonna have the best movement out of all of them. The hardest release to green, but he's fine too. Jermaine, Dino, as well as Jack Sigma. Jack's obviously the best, but all three of those guys are really solid. Now, Jim Jones is a card I don't think I've ever used. But let's look at him, man. Let's look at him. 6'11" at the power forward position. Yes, the 3-ball is a little bit low, but everything else about the card is fine. I mean, jump shot 56 is a fine release on very quick dribble style. I just think it's because of his 3-ball being a little low. I'm going to throw him in D tier, but Jim Jones is not bad in my team. Joel Embiid up next, and he's going in A tier. There's no questions asked. If you did grind for Joel Embiid, here's the question you're going to ask. Ty, was the grind worth it? My answer, no, right? There's no way the grind was worth it. When we've got guys that can do similar to what Joel Embiid can do for under 100,000 MT. Now, that's not me saying Joel Embiid is bad, but why would you get Joel Embiid when you can just get Hero Hakeem? It's that simple. If you did get Embiid, though, you did get a really solid card in NBA 2K22 MyTEAM. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar Invincible card is in S tier. In my opinion, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is still the second best power forward in my team. So how I'm going to rank these cards right now is like this at the power forward position. And you guys can say whatever you want. It's really, a lot of it's behind height, right? It's based on height. Outside of the fact that Dirk has set shot 25, that's a little bit of an exception. But, I mean, all the endgame and invincible cards are elite in my team. But that's how I'd rank them at S tier. Next up. Okay, next up, I still feel like Bill Russell in C tier might be a little disrespectful. We might have to move him up. I just don't think the card's very good. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar hero card. He's definitely A tier. I am thinking about putting him in S over Giannis. I'm in love with this Kareem. The real only difference in the card is his 3-ball. I mean, outside of his 3-ball, everything else is going to be the same. He's going to feel the same. But going from a 99 3-ball to an 81 3-ball is a massive, massive difference. I still love Kareem, and if you want Hero Kareem, man, still at A tier. KG's Invincible card is at A tier too. Now, I'm going to do this, and I don't know why, but I got to move Bill Russell up because his movement's fine. It's just his release. My thing for KG, his release is not great, but it's not horrible in my team. I like his movement decently well. That's why I'm decently on the card. KG's hero card, I'm going to go in B tier. I'm not that high on the hero card, but I mean, he's still okay in my team. Just not going to be quite as good. Both cards I've used, had some success with, but not my favorite cards in the game. Now, Kevin Love, and normally Kevin Love wouldn't even be on this list, outside of the fact that he's got an Evo, in which he gets 36 Hall of Fame badges, gets a little better just all the way around. Now, my question is, does this make him elite in my team? No. It makes him C tier though. I mean, it does make Kevin Love C tier. And if you give him the duo with Okoro, I mean, the dude's got 44 Hall of Fame badges. Doesn't make him perfect, but it does make him C tier. Kevin McHale, a guy over kind of the last week I've gained a little bit of an appreciation for. I still don't love Kevin McHale, okay? I mean, there's still flaws in the card that I don't think he's perfect. But I really like his release. I really like his player model. And, I mean, at the power forward position, he's a great addition. I mean, B tier at that, but he's a great, great addition. Looney for this stage is C tier. And there was a time I was really high on Looney, but that time was about a month ago. That's not anymore. Now, defensively, guys, he is still going to be absolutely elite. Problem is he doesn't give you much other than that. I mean, defensively, again, Looney Tunes is fine. It's about all he is going to provide for you on the court. And because of that, I'm going to go to D tier. LaMarcus Aldridge is underrated. And I'm saying this in a way of, I don't know how LaMarcus Aldridge is so good, right? Because defensively, I mean, stat-wise, he's not great, but release-wise is good. And that's as simple as it gets. He's got a good release, decent player model. I mean, movement-wise is okay. He's at C tier. Larry Nance, a card I've never used. I don't care. I'm putting him in F tier. And I might be completely wrong on this. He's got a 70 ball handle. I don't care how good you are. If you've got a 70 ball handle, I mean, come on, man. What are we really talking about here? 70 ball handle is horrible. Maybe if he had an 86 ball handle, he'd be in C tier, but 70 ball handle is horrible. Marc Gasol up next. Now, here's the tough part. Marc Gasol definitely belongs in B tier, and so that's where I'm going to put him. But the part is, when I get to Pau Gasol, I have no idea where to put him. When I did use Marc Gasol, I had some success with him defensively, absolutely elite. And I mean, if I'm putting Bill Russell with set shot 17 on very quick in B tier, Marc Gasol is definitely deserving of B tier. Mo Bamba. Next gen would be D tier, current gen would be A tier, and so I'm gonna meet in the middle and gonna just put him in B tier. I mean, 109 on very quick dribble style. The card is fine, pretty affordable too. So if you do need a power forward, he is affordable. But definitely if you're on current gen, pick him up. On next gen, I can't vouch for him. I'm gonna put him in C tier just because I think as an overall card, Kevin McHale is the better option. Moses Malone is a card I do like. But where do I put Moses, man? I mean, set shot 1 on very quick is fine. Defensively is fine. But at this stage of my team, does Moses give you more than Kevin McHale? I don't know. I'm still going to put him at B tier because I do think he's better than a lot of these cards at C tier. But I think Moses is the lower end of that B tier caliber. Miles Turner is definitely not very good. And I use Miles Turner, man. Release-wise, it's easy to green, but it's not great defensively. I mean, look at the stats, not great. Playmaker-wise, can't do too much. Miles is not great at my team. He's going in D tier. And you guys can debate a tree. Miles is not it. Nate Thurmond, though, is it. Nate Thurmond is going to B tier. A card you can just trust, right? If you need a card to trust, pick up Nate Thurmond. He's relatively cheap, and he's a very, very solid option heading into B tier. So we've got one whole row left. Now, starting with Dunktober Jokic. Most of you guys know I'm not super high on Dunktober Jokic. I mean, he's literally a troll card that we got. And defensively, he's horrible. I mean, say whatever you want about Jokic. Offensively, he's fine. Defensively, he's horrible. He's going into D tier. Patrick Ewing, I feel like he fits right in this opals with Dino, Ewing, Sigma, Jermaine, Caleb. That's right where Patrick Ewing fits. I mean, he's got jump shot 4 and very quick now, which is a solid release. He's just not a perfect card other than that. I mean, pretty mid stat-wise, but a card that can definitely hold it down there at that power forward position. Pau Gasol, and you guys can say I'm completely wrong. I've never used the card. My own thing is, how much better can he honestly be than Marc Gasol? Set shot 16 on very quick is not good. Stat-wise, badge-wise is fine. But again, when I compare him to Marc Gasol, who is at the same tier, I get it badge-wise, but look at their stats. Marc Gasol is wider, got a better player model. I have a hard time seeing Pau Gasol be any higher than B tier. It's Pau Gasol I'm throwing into D tier, honestly. Nah, he's going into C tier. It's hard, though, because I haven't played with all these cards, so I'm going off of, what I've seen from the cards, and I haven't seen too much from this Pau Gasol card, but, I mean, he's still solid. Gonna throw him in that C tier caliber. Popeye Jones up next. Now, I don't know if y'all ever eaten Popeye's chicken. I don't know, but all I can say is Dame's base on very quick. These stats, he belongs in C tier. I don't know. He might even belong in B tier. Like, this card stat badge-wise, I mean, is perfect. I've never used the card, so maybe that's a card I need to try out on my no money spent at the small forward position especially, but just a little undersized for the power forward position. That's my biggest holdup with the card. Serge Ibaka is solid, though, in my team. Not great. I'm not going to sit here and gas the card, but you need a budget power forward that can compete at the highest level. Look no further than Serge Ibaka. I mean, it is that simple in my team. This card, very, very, very solid. And I mean, you guys might be like, Ty, you're not saying anything different about these cards. Well, they're all the same. It's preference based, whether you prefer the release. I'll tell you where they belong, but outside of that, it really is preference based. Shaq is in A tier. A lot of people don't like Shaq anymore, and I'll say it. He's not the best, but his player model and how good he's going to be on defensively is still really, really good. So, still an invincible card, still belongs in A tier, but just probably not worth the price ultimately. Thon Maker, I like him more as small forward than power forward. I'm going to put him in B tier. I think that's a perfect spot for him, right in there with the hero AD, right in there with Poku. I mean, you can argue A tier if you want for Thon. I don't see it, man. I don't see it for Thon. Going to plug him into B tier, but a very good overall player in my team. Timmy D, again, an A tier caliber player for the invincible Tim Duncan. Now, The hero Tim Duncan, I really don't see much with. I'm going to throw him in B tier. He's still really solid. It's just release is mid. Not going to do as much as the invincible Tim Duncan. He's still fine in my team. If you want to run him, go ahead and do your thing. He's just not that next level good. We got 3 cards left. Tyler Hansborough. Look, with the Evo, Hansborough is solid. I don't think many people are going to argue that. With the Evo, he becomes a little more solid. I just still don't know how solid he becomes. Like, the guys at D tier are fine. I still think he's C tier, but it's about all you can do with him. Probably in the you know, tier of a guy like Jack Sigma is perfect for Mr. Hansborough. Wilt Chamberlain is a card I love. And maybe I'm too high on Wilt, but I do love this card. I'm going to go B tier with Wilt. I once upon a time thought, and still you could argue he's better than Shaq. I just don't think that's the case. His release is still baited. I know get Shaq's is, but at least Shaq's gonna knock down every white you shoot with the card. This Zion is F tier. Problem is, guys, most of the people that do run Zion, they're just running him because they have no other option, which honestly decreases his value. His release is absolutely horrible though in my team. So this is the list of the power forward position, man. We got a lot of guys on this list. I only wanted 5 at that top tier. Let me know about the top 2 tiers. You guys think I hit it right on the nail? Who was I too high on? Who was I too low on? I feel like if there was one guy I would want to move up, it would be Bull, but I just don't have a real spot for him. But let me know your thoughts down below in the comments, guys. Drop a like on the video, subscribe if you are new, and as always, man, I love you guys, and have a blessed day.